Hi there. This video is an exam paper walkthrough of the AQA Edexcel GCSE Mathematics Foundation Tier Paper 2 from summer 2023. This paper is worth 80 marks in total, and this is the second video of 4. It will focus on questions 11 to 17, which account for 21 of these marks. Edexcel Paper 2s are calculator papers, so a calculator should be used. A little disclaimer, there may be more than one way to answer a question. The methods shown in this video are not the only way some mathematical skills can be applied. Okay, let's get started. Question 11. The table shows information about the weights of the people in a hotel lift. So we have their weight and the number of people that were at that weight. Show that the total weight of the people in the lift is less than 1,200 kilograms. So let's find the total weight. So I'm going to multiply across here. So 1 times 40, 2 times 50, 4 times 60, 70 times 5. Even if you don't need to use your calculator, just use it on a calculator paper. 80 times 3. And then 90 times 1. And then we're going to add those together for that total weight. So 40 plus 100 plus 240 plus 350 plus 240 plus 90. So that gives us a total of 1,060 kilograms. Show that the total weight of people in the lift is less than 1,200 kilograms. Well, 1,060 is less than 1,200. We've shown all our working out. We've put a little bit of a statement, so we're good to go. Question 12. Shape A is reflected in a mirror line to give shape B. On the grid, draw the mirror line. So what we can see from going from shape A to shape B is that shape B is changed position slightly. So instead of it being flipped directly on the horizontal or directly on the vertical, it must have been flipped diagonally. So if we try and pick two corners, so this corner and this corner are the same corner, they're corresponding corners. So it's been flipped across here, look, and a mirror line is halfway. So our mirror line must go through this point, and it must be a diagonal line because of the way the shape is. So if I draw this line now, notice I'm drawing it in pencil just to be safe. I'm going to double check. So to get from this point to this point, it's 2 from the line. At a right angle, it's 2. That works. From here to here, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. So I'm confident with my mirror line there. And what I'm just going to do is remove those two lines so they don't get confused, by which I think my mirror line is. Part B. Alex is asked to reflect the shape P in the x-axis. Here is the diagram that Alex draws. Explain the mistake that he's made. Well, if we were reflecting P in the x-axis, we'd reflect it over the line, so it'd flip over this way and it'd be in this quadrant. What Alex has done is he's reflected it over the y-axis. So Alex has reflected over the y-axis. So just a quick explanation. Question 13. There are 50 teachers in a school. This is 1/16 of the total number of people in the school. Work out the total number of people in the school. So if 1/16 is 50 teachers, if we want the total number of people, we want 16/16. We want the whole thing. So we're going from 1/16 being 50 people to wanting 16/16. So we're going to have to multiply by 16. 50 multiplied by 16 is 800. So there are 800 people in the school in total. Question 14. Packets of sweets are put into boxes. So we have these packets of sweets going into these boxes. Each packet is a cuboid 80mm by 60mm by 20mm. The measurements given here on the diagram. Each box is a cuboid 72cm by 48cm by 24cm, given on this diagram. Work out the greatest number of packets that can be put into each box. So the first thing I notice is that this is in millimetres and this is in centimetres. So we want them to be the same. So I'm going to convert these millimetres to centimetres. So there are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So I need to divide each of these by 10. So that becomes 8 centimetres, 6 centimetres, and 2 centimetres. So now I'm going to find the volume of each of these cuboids. So the volume of the packet is 8 times 6 times 2, which is 96 centimetres cubed. The volume of the box, 72 times 48 times 24. Which is 82,944 centimetres cubed. The greatest number of packets that can be put into each box. So I'm going to do 82,944 divided by 96, which is 864. So 864 of these packets can fit into this box. It's really important that we make sure those measurements are in the same units. Question 15. Here is a fair ordinary dice and a fair 8-sided spinner. Charlie throws the dice once and spins the spinner once. Is Charlie more likely to get a number less than 3 on the dice or a number greater than 5 on the spinner? You must show all of your working out. So let's find the probability of a number less than 3 on the dice. So probability of less than 3 on the dice. So we have the options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 when we roll a dice. We want options less than 3. So there are 2 out of 6 options less than 3. Now let's have a look at the probability of a number greater than 5 on that spinner. So we have all of these numbers here. Greater than 5, we have 1, 2, 3 out of 8 because we got told that it was an 8-sided spinner. So now we need to decide which of these is the greater probability. So we need to compare them. To compare them, we need them to have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this side by 8. So that's 16 over 48. I'm going to multiply this side by 6. So that's 18 over 48. So 16 over 48 is less than 18 over 48 because we've got a common denominator, so the numerators can be compared now, and 16 is less than 18. So the probability of getting a 3 is lower, a 3 on the dice is lower than the probability of getting a number greater than 5 on the spinner. So he's more likely, so Charlie is more likely to get a number greater than 5 on the spinner. Really important that you get those probabilities and you find a way of comparing them to support your conclusion. Question 16. Paolo drives at an average speed of 56 kilometers per hour for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Work out the distance that Paolo drives. So speed, distance, time. To work out the distance, we're going to do speed multiplied by time. Okay, so we know that the speed is 56 kilometers per hour and we have the time as 1 hour 45 minutes, but we need that as a decimal time. So 1 hour and then the 45 minutes is 3/4 of an hour. So it's 1.75 as a decimal. What you could do is you could write it as 1 and 45 over 60, because it's 45 out of 60. And then if you were to simplify that on your calculator, so 1 and 45 out of 60, it would give you 1 3/4, but then you could put it into a decimal, which is 1.75. It's just another way of doing it if you need to. So the time is 1.75. So now we're going to do 56 times 1.75, which is 98. We're dealing with distance. Speed is kilometres per hour. So that's 98 kilometres distance. I'm going to pop that on our answer line. (17) There are 3 cinemas, A, B and C. The mean number of seats per cinema is 380. There are 350 seats in cinema A, 250 seats in cinema B. Work out the number of seats in cinema C. So let's go back to the first piece of information. There are 3 cinemas and the mean number of seats is 380. So if the mean number of seats of those 3 cinemas is 380, we would have added the number of seats together and then divided by 1, 2, 3. So let's reverse that. So 380 times 3 tells us that there were 1,140 seats in total. So that's across all 3 cinemas. We know the number of seats in cinema A and cinema B, so let's take those away. Which leaves 540, so this must be the number of seats in cinema C.